It's an indescribable and amazing feeling when one has the ability to see images and feel things and be able to bring them to life in words or through brush strokes. I was born in Iran and lived there until I was a teenager. And after that I came to the United States and I've been living here ever since. I think the marriage between the two different cultures has influenced my work to a great degree. As a child, I won a couple of competitions in school and through Boy Scouts. They were drawing competitions. But I really didn't pursue drawing or painting with the passion that I did later on in my 20s. I can't tell you how it began or what really ignited my passion for artistic expression. But what I can tell you is that I am at complete peace with the universe, only and only when I paint or when I write. I'm blessed for having been given the gift of artistic expression, but I think I'm even more fortunate for having been able to share my work and my passion with so many. My style is still evolving. I've explored abstract through surrealism. I've used different types of medium. This past year, however, I've done most of my work in female form, and I released a series named Woman. Although my style has changed and evolved throughout the years, two factors have remained the same in my work. The first is my core belief. I believe that it's at its very core, artistic expression and creative expression has to steer emotion. It has to challenge the norm and it has to provoke thought. So whether I paint, sculpt or write, my ultimate objective is to create an alternative reality, one that is close enough to our realm and yet different enough to provoke thought. The second factor that has remained constant in my work and my paintings is the use of texture. I like my work to have an added dimension, and texture is the perfect vehicle for accomplishing that. Not only because it amplifies and brings to life certain parts of the painting that I'm trying to emphasize, but it also creates and causes the piece to look and react differently under different lighting and from different angles. I rip the canvas and sew it back together. I use everyday objects from cigarette butts to zippers. And I use various mediums to create new and unfamiliar images and forms using everyday familiar objects and patterns. Another way through which I try to add more dimension to my paintings is through pairing them with my own poetry. Sometimes the images come first and then the words, and sometimes the words bring out the image in my mind's eye. I've had 3 exhibits in Southern California over the past couple of years, and I'm currently working on setting up an exhibit in Los Angeles. Thanks to the social media, we can now reach thousands in an instant, in a virtual gallery, if you will, and makes our work accessible almost anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact, one of the most rewarding experiences I've had as an artist recently is to have participated in the Art Expo social network art competition 2 years in a row. My painting, in a sense, was selected among the works of top 150 artists in 2011, and the painting called Iranian Woman was selected as one of the winning submissions in 2012. The painting Iranian Woman will be exhibited at the Art People Gallery in San Francisco this coming spring. Of course, having been selected is a tremendous honor, but the true value of this competition is being able to stand side by side among many wonderful and talented artists, seeing their work, learning from them, and developing lasting friendships with them. Had it not been for the social media, this type of sharing and connection would not be possible. The painting Iranian Woman is one of the very few paintings of mine that is both politically and socially motivated. The writing that you see on this painting reads, "Your intolerance she will endure, your ignorance she will forgive, your brutality she will refuse to accept, your belittlements she will bear. Her compliance not a sign of frailty, her silence not a badge of submission. Strong-willed and wise, she is a lioness. Her beauty in and out you will never cover." I'm delighted that this painting has gotten some international notoriety because the message that it conveys is extremely important to me, and I want it to be heard as loud as possible. The desire to write and to do poetry started almost at the same time as I started painting in my early 20s. I used to write in Farsi predominantly, and as the years passed and my command of the English language got stronger and stronger, I started writing poetry in English. And today my work is predominantly in English, and it's only when I feel that the language of Farsi better portrays what I'm trying to say that I decide to do poetry in Farsi. As to how it all started, I think what I used to do was to share some of my writing, some of my poetry with my friends, and their feedback was, "Why don't you share this with everybody else? Why don't you open this up?" And finally, I decided to start a blog and started publishing my poetry and my writings in a blog. And amazingly enough, without any advertising, in a span of a year, I had readers in 85 countries, and it was all done through the word of mouth. And as rewarding as it is to be able to be recognized, to be able to have fans, to be able to connect with so many wonderful individuals, I think the most rewarding part of writing is when I hear from my readers, "We read your poetry and it feels as though what you wrote is about my life. You said the things that I wanted to say for so many years, and I could not find the words to express them." That is an immense, wonderful feeling that I can't even begin to describe. For that same reason, I never wanted to go into publication. I didn't want to associate monetary gain with my work. And for many years I resisted the idea of publishing a book. The fans kept insisting, and the feedback came coming that we want to have this collection in our hands. We want to be able to physically touch it. We want to be able to possess it. And that led to the release of my book, Breathless, which we released in this past December 2012. My poetry is all based on my feelings, my views on life, my life experiences, my triumphs, my defeats, my fears. And I think I can describe Breathless best as my journey of self-discovery. The reviews of the book so far have been very positive, very good, and I'm very grateful for to my fans for the support that they have given me throughout the years, and especially after the release of the book. And as for what is next, I have a few projects that I'm considering right now for my next book. And obviously, I will continue to paint. I won't be alive if I don't paint. So I would say stay tuned and see what the future brings.